Hello, 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 welcome back. Ooh, lighting is probably terrible. Hello, 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 welcome back to Hunter Tuned. Today, it's kind of a exciting day. I'm a little nervous, but we are tuning two Integras, and these dudes drove all the way from Minnesota. They drove 8 hours to get tuned by me. And they just showed up, and I just showed up. I can't believe these dudes drove all this way to get tuned by me. That's humbling, to say the least. So we're gonna check them out and see what we can do and get these hot rods running. Okay, so I'm interrupting part of this video, one, because I did not really get a lot of footage filming these cars. I rolled up to the shop. These guys drove 8 hours one way to get tuned by me, and I was a little nervous, but I talked to them on the phone a few times, and we kind of did a lot of planning ahead of time to alleviate any possible issues that would have arisen at the dyno. So I tried to, you know, give them as much homework as possible in order for this to go smoothly, because this was needing to be done, you know, same day kind of thing. And I pretty much told them, no matter what, get a hotel, because I'm not forcing myself to knock both of these cars out in the same day. I don't want to put that rush and stress on me. I would rather take my time and do the job right. So, like I said, I told them just get a hotel just as precaution. So they did. They showed up in town, trailered the cars here. And like I said, I gave them homework. They told me about the setups, and I figured this would have went easy peasy lemon squeezy. One of the Integras is a B18B LS non-VTEC with an eBay turbo kit, and the other one is a Integra GSR with a B18 VTEC with the same eBay turbo kit. They both are running eBay injectors. So I warned them about the injectors prior to them showing up to the dyno. I said we may have issues with them. I'll have some injectors ready to go if we need them. We ended up not needing them. The eBay thousands actually worked out fairly good. So that wasn't an issue. But they rolled up, and I got to the shop. They were unloading the cars off the trailer. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna get a start on this right away so we can try to knock these out as fast as possible, or as efficiently as possible. I said, well, you guys unload that car, I'm gonna go get this one, get a map on it right away, check it all over, and then you know, go from there. So the first issue that came up with the non-VTEC car, I noticed, is they had Hondata S300s, and they told me that they bought the Hondata and they needed the ECU to put it in. They had the Hondata but no ECU, so I told them to hit up my buddy Jason Waters, which you guys, if you don't follow Jason Waters on Facebook and social media stuff, he's a great tuner down there down south, and he does amazing ECU work. So I told them just get an ECU from Jason and we'll all be good to go. They unfortunately ordered chipped ECUs. They didn't order an S300 ready ECU. The S300 ECUs have pins coming out of the ECU, where a chipped ECU is just a socket. And these guys unfortunately did not know that the socket is not where you put the Hondata pins. You have to solder the Hondata pins into the ECU. I didn't have any ECUs on hand at the shop, so they used the pins inside the socket and then put the Hondata on top of that. And the lid didn't really shut that well, and like the Hondata was crooked. It wasn't really, you know, connecting into the ECU how it should. And I literally saw that and I was like, shit, this ain't good. Because I don't have ECUs on hand, and I can't desolder a socket and then put in pins. I don't really do ECU chipping anymore because I don't really have the best tools and stuff to do the job. So I usually send a lot of guys that need chipping and ECU work and stuff to Jason Waters, as he has the best tools and stuff for the job, and his work is awesome. It's flawless. I can't speak highly enough of his ECU work. So before they even got the other car unloaded, I told them about the bad news. I said, hey guys, you got the wrong ECU. You just drove 8 hours here. I don't really want to send you packing, but we got two options here. We can tune it with a chip with like HTS or Chrome, and you take the Honda and just, you know, use it for something else maybe down the road or whatever. Or the second option was make a post on Facebook, try to find somebody with a Honda ready ECU that we could use. I found one Honda ECU ready to go, local to me, but the cost would have been kind of high. It was out of one of my buddy's personal cars, and he's like, hey man, I'll help you out, but I'm gonna need a new one. It's an HA Motors, whatever ECU that he had, and it was like 300 bucks. So I said, well, to save cost and whatever, because this is, you know, I haven't even started these cars yet. Needless to say, even looked under the hood. So, it was a decision that we kind of made spontaneously just to tune them on a chip, just to get them going. They're fairly basic setups. They didn't really need Honda, but it would have been cool to, you know, be able to utilize the data logging and everything like that with the Honda. But I tuned them on a chip. I tuned both these cars on chips because they had the wrong ECUs when they showed up, and we were kind of in a pickle because we were in such a rush and blah, blah, blah. And this is kind of just why I don't like doing this. Rushing and having guys just show up at the shop and get tuned the same day, because no matter how prepared both of us think we are, stuff comes up. It's just, it's almost impossible to have your stuff completely ready to go unless the car like runs flawless and you drive it every day. Then, you know, making one small change, we fix that change and we tune that change. That's, you know, the easiest way to do it. And I feel like that kind of stuff, same day drop off, or same day you kind of wait around while I tune it, is totally fine. But most of these setups are like, yeah, it's a new build, we just put a turbo on it, we just put this new ECU in, we haven't driven it, we're trailering it to you, stuff like that. Or if it needs more than just you know, a very small adjustment, it's tough to do this stuff same day. And that's why like 99% of the stuff that comes in my shop is dropped off. I don't do you wait around while I tune it kind of thing, because it adds a lot of stress on me because I have to rush, and then you're sitting there and you're waiting, you know, and stuff takes time. It's not like, you know, you're just going to you know, we're just going to spin the dyno and make power. Like that stuff doesn't even take that long. It's everything leading up to it, and the preparation and the computer work and everything like that takes the time. And when I'm tuning and working on cars, I can't be entertaining the customer that's sitting there waiting. And I feel like that's something that kind of drives me nuts, because I feel like I have to entertain everybody that walks in the shop or anybody that's with me at the shop. That's why I work best by myself, and that's usually when the best, you know, it's less stressful for me to just be able to work on the cars by myself on my time without being rushed or feeling rushed. These customers a lot of times are very patient, but I still feel rushed because they're there. You know what I'm saying? So it's tough. So like I said, if the cars are lined out for the most part and we just need to make a little boost adjustment or tuning, some small tuning, sure, can hang out while I do it. It shouldn't take too long, and get you out the door. But a lot of this stuff you guys have seen in a lot of my videos, that it's more than just tuning a lot of times. Ranting, holy shit. But needless to say, we tuned them on a chip. I pulled the non-VTEC car in and we put it on the dyno, but not before the car also had other issues, including the wideband was not working. The wideband completely stopped working, so I figured out what was going on, and the wideband sensor was hitting the intermediate shaft, the axle coming out of the transmission. The sensor was like hitting, and I'm like, this O2 sensor spot is not going to work. Like, there's no other O2 bung on the car anywhere other than the one that's hitting the drive shaft. So this kind of put me in a pickle because, one, the sensor was junk now. I have another sensor at the shop, obviously, but we needed to put an O2 bung in the exhaust where it was, you know, able to read the correct exhaust. So the first car, the non-VTEC car, I completely cut the O2 sensor out of it, and we just put a plug in because, you know, it's just a sensor that's gone now because the placement was terrible. So I drilled the exhaust and I welded a bung in because there was no other option at the time. We just had to make it happen. So I drilled a hole in it, I welded a bung, and then I used my dyno wideband sensor, and then we put it on the dyno. I can't remember if there was anything else wrong with that car, but we put it on the dyno. I think it made like 250 or 260 to the wheel, non-VTEC, and I was on like 10 pounds of boost. It's been a long time since these cars have been here, but I just wanted to make this video regarding them because it's stressful, you know, and I put myself in the situation and I had to deal with it. But looking back on it, you want to get your car tuned by me, you either ship it to me or you drop it off. It's the easiest way. So then I can go through the car and figure out what it all needs and, you know, all that.
It's just like, yep, you don't need that, you don't need that. I'm just like, I can tap it, but I don't know if I trust myself to dip the tap in grease and not, I mean, that's freaking shooting straight in. Like, tap the oil and that is. I'm a little, oil filter for that.
So we ended up getting the non-VTEC Turbo B-Series car tuned. Wide open was pretty good. It had a couple little cruising bugs that I had to fix on it still, but by this time we were like 4 or 5 hours into this whole ordeal already, and there was a whole nother car to tune still. So I said, well, this one's pretty close. We got a good start on it. Unfortunately, the exhaust was like really choked up. It still had a catalytic converter on it, and it had a full exhaust. I can't remember the size of it, but it was choked. Like, this setup was really choked. So I said, it's pretty close. Let's just get a start on the other one so we can get, you know, just keep this ball rolling here instead of losing steam on one. So the non-VTEC car was running good. I think after all the messing around and stuff, we made like 240 or 250 wheel. I can't remember exactly. I didn't take pictures. I didn't do a lot of stuff because I wasn't super concerned about filming or taking pictures for social media or anything like that in this situation, because these guys are a long way from home and I'm just trying to get their stuff running as best as possible in the time allowed. So the next car we pull in, I can't remember if this one had issues or not. Maybe just like a few small things we did with it, spark plugs and stuff like that. I can't remember. Oh, Roxy's got the kennel cough right now. I'm sorry for that, but I can't remember. It's been a couple months since these guys came, but I haven't heard from them since, so I hope their cars are still doing good. Maybe one day I'll update you guys later on them, but the next guy, we pulled his GSR car in, and I think that one went a little smoother, but maybe it didn't make the power he wanted or something, and we were trying to find some horsepower with it, as you guys can see with the parts allowed and what we had available. So here's some of the clips from that car. Breaking up top. A little bit. $71. that's your torque is pretty much matched in this power. That's why I think it's good.
Yeah.
But the separation. Okay, so this is his power. He gets you in the mid-range, you know what I mean? But you got him up here and up here. But this is how, this fucker will keep making power if I keep running.
Is unrestricted exhaust.
So that's the two cars that we did. One of them made like 240 or 250 with 280 foot-pounds of torque or something. And then the VTEC car obviously made a little bit more horsepower. Both, you know, same turbo kits, stuff like that. It was about a 50 horsepower difference, 40 to 50 horsepower difference on about the same boost level between the non-VTEC car and the VTEC car. So I thought that would be cool. I had like plans of doing these videos of like, what is the B18 versus the GSR with the same turbo kit? How's the power curves look? I didn't take fucking pictures or nothing because I was so worried about getting them done, you know. So, but yeah, thanks for watching the video, guys. It was a little bit of a story time, but hopefully you enjoyed it. I got a lot of other content coming very soon. A lot of really cool stuff coming. Can't wait to share it. It's just been hectic around here lately, and I figured I'd make a video with some footage I had on my camera. And this footage is old. I just figured instead of throwing it in the trash, I might as well make something out of it. So, yeah. Have a great night and a better tomorrow, guys. We'll see you later.